The opinions expressed are those of the program host and guest and are not those of WSTU. WSTU does not endorse products that may be mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU. The phone lines are open. Call in with your questions and comments at 220-9788. That's 220-WSTU. It's time for Stewart Laser Talk with your host, Dr. Tred J. Rizacker.
I'm 5'10" and 242 pounds.
I always say this is the biggest I'm ever going to be, and I said that like 20 pounds ago.
A third of Americans are obese, another third is overweight.
Obesity is the biggest threat to the health, welfare, and future of this country.
I've always been overweight.
I've got diabetes.
Sleep apnea.
Heart disease.
Everything's hurting now.
It's a lot easier to lose weight than it is to keep weight off.
This is probably going to be the first generation of children who are going to have a shorter life expectancy than their parents.
18% of our children right now are obese.
It's not only health, it's about survival and well-being of the United States as a nation.
You don't crave broccoli, and our generation has grown up craving a Big Mac.
I want to think that there's something better for me.
Unless we're able to control this epidemic, we're going to have an abundance of chronic disease.
All of us have to be part of the solution to reduce obesity.
The weight of the nation is out of control, but we can fix that.
If we don't now take this as a really urgent national priority, we are all going to pay a really serious price.
Obesity will crush the United States in oblivion.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Tred Rizacker, and I have a question for you. How do you lose weight when you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and even your 80s? The skills and the techniques and the things that you learned to lose weight when you were in your middle age, right, is very different than what it takes to lose weight after you reach 50 to 60 years old. The whole process changes. And it's my goal here today to explain to you on the radio exactly why that changes, what happens internally that makes it so difficult to lose weight. The difference between weight loss and actually inch loss is a difference. And also, what does it mean to be skinny but fat? Have you ever heard that term, skinny but fat? And this happens when you get older because of low muscle tone. And I'll go into that a little more in detail. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for tuning into the Slim Body Laser Spa Health and Wellness Show. I use modern, non-invasive, low-level lasers called photobiomodulation to shrink and reduce subcutaneous fat deposits. You could call it laser body sculpting or spot fat reduction. It's something which is applied from the outside to the body, and it helps to shrink and reduce and to tighten skin, reduce stubborn fat deposits, smooth out lumps and bumps. Quite amazing technology, if I don't say so myself. However, most people just want to learn how to lose weight, and I'm going to go over that today. So please stay tuned in. You'll get something. I hope you get some information here that's valuable to you. My practice is called Dr. Tred's Slim Body Laser Spa of Stewart. And I'm a practicing doctor of chiropractic right here in South Florida for over 33 years. Basically, in the last 12 years, I have developed and have been specializing in a new procedure that I coined laser-assisted weight loss. And basically, I'm using a safe, non-invasive, FDA-cleared low-level laser, which is a red light machine, which is not strong enough to cause any tissue damage. That's why they call it a low-level laser or cold laser. This is not a hot laser. This is not a machine that burns skin or reduces tattoos or blasts away hair. This is a very gentle energy that's red light, similar to you see in the morning, believe it or not. When you look at the sunrise or when the sun set in the evening, that spectrum, meaning that color, is very beneficial to humans. It helps to relax our tissues. It helps to activate our cellular functions. It's part of our circadian rhythm, which stimulates circadian rhythm is those light photons that strike our face and our eyes, set up these rhythms of healing and health. Who would have thought that red light has that many different features? We're using it to get rid of body fat, but it can also be used for many other things: skin tightening, relaxation, stress reduction. You've seen the red light machines, I'm sure. And what it is in my office, I'm using this non-invasive FDA cleared low-level laser. And in only 9 sessions in 3 weeks, clients can lose 6 to 9 inches. That's measured of stubborn belly fat while you lie on your back and listen to music. It's really that easy. If you need to lose weight, then diet and exercise are included in all of our laser lipo plans. I have seen over 6,000 clients in 12 years, and we have a 99% satisfaction rate and completion rate of our lipo laser programs. That's 99 to 98% completion of our entire program. The people that sign up. That's a huge satisfaction when it comes to these types of procedures. A lot of people that come in for body sculpting or aesthetics come in because they're unhappy about something. Let's be realistic. They're unhappy about the way they look, the way their skin is drooping, the way their belly is protruding, or whatever that their complaint is. And to think that we can, in 3 weeks, using a non-invasive cold laser technology, to where they have a 99% satisfaction rate, that they finish the program, that they refer other people, that they come in and do extra visits afterwards in our alumni program. That's a testament to how successful we've become at the Slim Body Laser Spa. If you're interested in finding out more about it, I am available for consultations. You need to call the office, 772-223-5885. The office is located on East Ocean Boulevard. That's Ocean Boulevard at the intersection of Monterey Road and A1A. It's on the way to the beaches. If you're in Stuart, Florida, and you're heading down from Confusion Corner, which is downtown, down Ocean Boulevard, right before you get to the Stuart Causeway, the bridges, on the left-hand side is a pizza place called Carmela's, and there's a chef's table restaurant in there. And I have my spa is in that plaza. It's called the Slim Body Laser Spa, and there's a beautiful fountain in front. It's kind of a lime green color with a white picket, with a white fence around the front, white deck, and that's where we're doing the consultations. I have a website, slimbodylaserspa.com. You can also, on the website, you can hit the contact page and you can set up a consultation, and we'll get you started. My consultations are no charge. It isn't that they're not valuable. It's just that there's nobody out there that's doing what I'm doing. It's a very unique process to me and my staff and what I developed over the last 12 years. And you're just not going to know if it's going to work for you unless you actually come in and meet with me personally. And I can explain it to you and show you and answer all of your questions. And if it's something that makes sense to you and it seems like something you'd like to move forward, then I could go over pricing and get you started. Okay. It's incredible. I also am available as a business consultant. If you're listening to this and you're maybe not in the area and you're saying to yourself, I wish I owned a laser spa like Dr. Tread, and I wonder how he did it, and it seems very successful. Maybe you're interested in a business arrangement. I am available as a business consultant for the laser body sculpting procedure. Okay. And then you can develop your own brand and you can enjoy the success that we've had all these years here in South Florida. All right. So the first thing I'm going to go on here before I go into the laser, where it comes from and how it works, is I just want to go over a little bit how to lose weight. This is a big button. I'm up on the Google trends and what's trending on Twitter besides, war and pestilence and disease, which seems to be the trends for the last 2 years. There is some trends on how to lose weight and how to body sculpt. So I want to go over that a little bit. Okay. I have a little experience in it. I lost my weight when I was 52 years old. I didn't do it before that because I wasn't that motivated. I'm a tall person. I'm 6'1", and I'm proportionally wise as far as my stomach and chest. Excuse me. And the weight that I was carrying was never really an issue for me until, I reached 50, 51, 52. I got married. And not that I blame it on my wife. She's a wonderful person, but I got a little sedentary. I stopped doing all the things that I was doing. I started staying home more often, focusing on the office, and I was eating 3 square meals a day and maybe an extra 4th meal too. And, I don't drink alcohol. I'm not really addicted to sugar, but I put on some weight. And that weight turned into a health problem for me. I developed neuropathy in my feet over the years, which is numbness and tingling. And, if you got neuropathy, you know who you are. And I didn't realize it had to do with my weight at the time or blood sugar. I thought it had more to do with my feet or back problems because I'm a chiropractor. So I didn't immediately start losing weight until it became very obvious that I had type 2 diabetes. Now, if you're wondering what the symptoms of type 2 diabetes are, it's very, very simple. It usually happens to somebody that's over 40. It used to be called adult onset diabetes. Adult onset meaning it happened to adults. And that has something to do with habits. Your body's health and your muscle tone and your ligament flexibility and your how active you are is a series of events that you've done your whole life up to this point. If you're listening to this show and you're in your 50s, 60s, or 70s, what happened to you many, many years ago have led to where you are today. It's a cumulative. Now, some of you have fantastic habits. You've always watched your weight. You've never really indulged in any kind of alcohol or vices. Never smoked cigarettes, and you're enjoying the experience of being in your 60s and 70s, and you're probably pretty healthy, and you don't worry too much about it. But then there's the other side, the ones who maybe drank a little too much alcohol, maybe enjoyed food a little too much. Maybe they had a lot of fun when they were younger with sports and athletics, and that's the only tool that they had to maintain their weight was exercise. And when they got older and stopped doing the sports, which is probably a good idea, when you're in your 50s and 60s, you don't want to take a shot on a rugby field. And now, but you haven't really learned how to back off on calories, you end up becoming fat because you're eating too much and you're not exercising. And the only tool you had was exercise. That's the only skill you really developed when you were younger. And you have no idea the difference between a protein or a carbohydrate, a good carb or a bad carb. And next thing you know, you're, having a hard time fitting in the double doors. It happened to me. So I used my laser to lose the weight. It motivated me to continue to eat better and to clean up my diet. But the laser, because of the quick result I got, was super motivating and super effective at moving me forward to take better care of myself. I've exercised and dieted to lose weight in the past. I've counseled and coached people as a doctor many, many, many times years ago with weight loss. Let me tell you, the chances of being successful at weight loss when you're exercising and dieting are very, very slim. And I think the statistics prove that. That's because it takes a long time to see results. You're cutting off on your calories. You're going to the, exercising more. And, exercise makes you hungry. It did for me. And I also justified that because I'm exercising now, I didn't have to be as disciplined with my diet, and I didn't really get results. And then when I decided it was more about diet than exercise, I ate less. I would lose weight, but then it would come back very quickly because I didn't really, I was eating so little that it wasn't something that was sustainable. You know, if your only tool to lose weight is just to stop eating and cut way back on your calories above and beyond what would be normal, and then you lose the weight, you're going to go back to eating again and put that weight back on. This is the yo-yo dieting that's so prevalent. Or you're waiting for exercise to kick in. And since exercise is really building muscle, muscle is heavier, you end up gaining weight before you lose weight. And a lot of people, you know, never get to that point. They just exercise a lot and they're getting stronger and stronger, which is a good thing, but it's not very productive if you want to lose weight. So proper weight loss in your 50s or 60s and 70s is really requires an outside approach to body sculpting along with traditional diet and exercise. I mean, that's really the difference between being in your 60s, 70s, or 80s and you want to lose weight. When you're younger and you have not reached menopause, and a female, you're not 40 or 50 yet, or a man who's still very active physically and has good testosterone, all you have to do to lose weight is to just eat less and exercise and be consistent at it. And you will change your body composition. You'll look better. Your love handles will go down. Your bat wings will straighten out. You know, your double chin will go away. And it happens pretty consistently when you're before you're 50. But all of that changes once you have the hormonal changes that come with aging. There's a few things that happen with aging that you're battling against if you're over 50. The first thing that comes up, which I learned in college many years ago, was they taught us that a person loses 1% of their muscle tone every year after they're 50 years old. So if you have good muscle tone and you turn 50, from 50 to 60 in 10 years, you can lose 10% of your muscle tone. And that's just living properly. You know, if you want to not lose that muscle tone, you have to exercise vigorously at 50 years old. I mean, more than you did when you were younger to maintain your muscle tone. So this muscle atrophy, which is very associated with aging, which is springboarded or created because of changes in hormonal profiles as we get older, we're not able to have children as easily, you know, especially in women. In men, they can have children up until, you know, they're not restricted by age. However, they lose testosterone. And when you start to have lower testosterone from not being able to exercise as much, you end up with low muscle tone. In women, it's menopause. It's not having your period anymore, believe it or not. Your period produces estrogen and progesterone, and it's a normal menstrual cycle. And once you reach menopause, where you're not having your period anymore, you become what they call estrogen dominant. And estrogen dominance starts to lead to muscle degradation, the reduction of muscle tone. So from 50 to 60 years old, you've dropped 10% of your muscle tone, even if you take good care of yourself. Now you go from 60 to 70 years old, and now you can be down 20% of your muscle tone just because of the normal effects of aging and these hormonal changes. So that's one of the factors that's hurting you and making it more difficult to lose weight. That is because muscles are what burn fat. Okay. Your muscle tone, your muscular system, which allows you to sit, stand, run, walk, eat food, digest, you know, groom yourself, play games. These muscles are what burn the calories that you eat. So if the part of your body that burns calories gets smaller and smaller, what happens is you end up accumulating more and more body fat. And the ratio, even though your weight doesn't change a lot, you could still be 130 pounds and be morbidly obese and never have gained any weight since you were younger. but the ratio of body fat and muscle tone flips, and you become skinny but fat. In other words, your weight hasn't changed much, but your body fat percentage has increased 20, 30, 40%. And this is happening all the time. Most people don't even realize, if you're over 50 to 60 years old, definitely over 70, that most of your muscle tone has been replaced with fat. We have a machine at the office which tells us exactly your body fat percentage compared to lean muscle mass. And I'm going to explain what normal is. You should, of your total body weight, whether you're 100 pounds, 200 pounds, or 300 pounds, a healthy ratio of body fat to muscle is 20% fat, 80% muscle. So your total body weight, if you're 100 pounds, 20 pounds of fat, 80 pounds of lean muscle. If you were 200 pounds, you would have 40 pounds of fat and 160 pounds of muscle. And you would be a very healthy person who has good muscle tone and low body fat compared to, for someone that's 200 pounds. You could be 300 pounds. And someone says, "Oh my God, you're 300 pounds. You're so overweight." Well, no, I'm very strong. If I have 20% body fat and 80% lean muscle, you're just a super strong person that's 300 pounds. So it isn't the weight that's such a factor here, people. It's how much of your body has been turned into fat. And that could either be from overeating, creating fat, making fat, or it can be from the aging process, the hormonal changes that people go through when they get older, where muscle tone is replaced with fat. Either way, you need a body fat analysis, which tells you your percentage of body fat compared to lean muscle mass. I did one yesterday, or I don't want to say exactly yesterday, in case they're listening. I did a body fat, and she was probably in her early 60s, and knew that she fell off on her diet. That's why she's there. Needed some help. And when I did the body fat percentage, and she's only weighed about 140 pounds, which is not that heavy, her body fat percentage was a whopping 49%. And what does that mean? Listen, 49% body fat of the 140 pounds, half of her weight is fat. That's what that means. And that means that body fat is now injuring her. It's now a disease process. High body fat and low muscle tone is a disease process. It leads to disease and sickness and ill health. It leads to a 40% chance of having stroke, 40% chance of having cardiovascular disease, a 40% chance of developing type 2 diabetes, along with arthritis and cancer. Having high body fat over 30 to 35% is a shoo-in for all of these horrible problems that are so common. The leading cause of death is heart attack. 1 out of 2 people will die from heart disease. 1 out of 3 will die from cancer. I bet that diabetes is 1 out of 6 or 7. That's how bad diabetes is today. And strokes, we know how prevalent they are. And what's really alarming to me is that these conditions can be avoided. They can be, mitigated. They can be lessened by losing body fat. That's right. Not by having the best health insurance in the world to fix you if you get sick. Not by going all keto or wearing a Fitbit. Okay. And wearing workout clothing when you're overweight, when you're obese. You got to lose that body fat, man. You got to get that body fat off. No matter what you have to do short of surgery. I mean, now it seems that everybody's moving right into gastric bypass. They're avoiding the diet plan because diet is so frustrating. It's so hard to get results. It seems like you're always going to have to go back and do it again and again. So the idea that you could have your stomach stapled or cut out or, or some gastric bypass procedure. Oh, and it is covered by insurance, by the way, seems like an option for a lot of people. And if they only knew about the Slim Body Laser Spa and what this low-level laser can do to help you to lose weight, to get rid of the outer fat layer, and then we help you with the inner fat, which is visceral fat. It's a process and a program that is just infallible. I mean, it works whether you're black, white, tall, skinny, if you're married, if you're gay. It does not care about your personal tastes. It is a laser. It's demonstrable. It's measurable. We know how it works on tissue. It works on everybody the same way. And so why do I say that? It doesn't fail. It's a laser. We know how it's going to work on the surface. It's electromagnetic energy, which is, so is a Bic lighter. So is a flame. If I take a Bic lighter and hold your hand out and put that lighter under your hand, I'm going to say, okay, now I know you don't believe in lighters or flames. So let's see if this is going to, it's going to burn you. Heck yeah. What'd you do that for? Well, because I want to demonstrate to you that we know the energy which a lighter produces, and we know how it affects tissue. It's going to burn it. So why is it so difficult to think that a laser can't reduce fat on everybody? Because that's what it does. Now, it doesn't make a person lose weight. Losing weight is there's a lot more that comes to do with that. But as far as getting rid of outside body fat, sculpting, it's a no-brainer, man. I can guarantee results with the laser. The weight loss, as all my clients know, we have an agreement. It says, we will guarantee a 3-inch loss when measuring 3 areas in that 9 sessions, but we do not guarantee weight loss. We cannot guarantee weight loss. It's too many factors that come into play, which is why weight loss has never been really something which has been documented, and there's no parameters to be paid for by insurance, because there's 17,000 different ways that people lose weight. And insurance requires some statistical analysis and some consistency on what they're paying for. And right now, if they were to start paying for weight loss, they would be broke, because there's so many different ways that people have found to lose weight. And I have one using a laser. So there you go. I hope this is generating a little interest in you. So to summarize, I'm talking about why it's difficult to lose weight in your 50s, 60s, or 70s. And the summary is that there's hormonal changes going on, you guys. You've reached 50 to 60 years old, and the body starts to go on its decline. It's starting to age. And age means low muscle tone, more body fat, and hormonal challenges that create a body which can become overly fat and low muscle tone. In other words, you're not in your fighting years anymore. And thus you're going to combat the same tools that you use when you're younger to lose weight is going to change when you're in your 60s and 70s. Okay. And that's a fact. So I don't want you to give up. If you've reached middle age, you're not alone. It is common to see changes on the scale and the way your clothes fit as you get older, but you do not have to give up. Okay. You can learn how to lose weight in your 50s and beyond. Today, middle-aged men and women are using targeted physical activity, a healthy diet, and progressive medical approaches like my low-level procedure to stay fit as they age. In other words, you're going to need more help. Well, you can't necessarily stop or reverse all the changes that come with aging. There's simple things you can do to reach and maintain a healthy weight and a better appearance in middle age and beyond. So again, the most important thing to know when it comes to losing weight when you're an older adult or any adult, you need to know your numbers. And that means your BMI, your body mass index, And you also want to weigh yourself on the scale. But there's other numbers that can affect how you look as you age, such as your waist circumference, your BMI or body fat percentage, and something called your resting caloric intake or your BMR. Okay. Now, let's go over waist circumference first. So, as you age, your waistline may get bigger even though you're not gaining weight. Have you noticed that? That's what happened to me. My belly went from a 34 to a 40, and I didn't really gain that much weight, but my waist circumference was changing. Hormonal changes do not necessarily cause weight gain, but hormonal changes, low sex hormonal profiles, can change the way you carry weight on your body. Now, women that are struggling with the sex hormone changes over 60 will tend to see weight gain in their middle, sides, and thighs. Men who are going through these aging changes will end up wearing their belt a little lower to accommodate a bigger belly, and they will develop the dreaded male boobs as they age. So, aging causes fat to be distributed indifferently. And your waist circumference is a huge, huge predictor of obesity, of heart disease, of stroke, diabetes, what they call metabolic syndrome. Huge, huge predictor. So what does that mean? If you're a guy, a male, and you have a waist size over 40 inches, or you're female with a waist size of over 35, you could be in serious trouble. Now, we're not measuring the belt line here, you guys. We're measuring your belly button. So that would be a waist size, not where you hold your pants. Because, you could have a huge belly and no change in that. Women, on the other hand, are a little different. They can do the waist size around where they would hold a belt. But also you want to, unless they're getting very abdominal, you want to measure that outside fat. So men, it's over 40 inches or over. And women, it's over 35 inches. You could be in serious trouble. Studies have shown that you are 40% more likely to develop cardiovascular disease, stroke, diabetes, or cancer if you do not reduce your waist size. In an aging person, increased waist circumference is the beginning of something we call metabolic syndrome or syndrome X. Metabolic syndrome is caused by weight gain, lack of exercise, sedentary lifestyle, increased fasting glucose, which means hyperglycemia. You're pre-diabetic, and you have increased circulating fatty acids, too much fatty acids in the bloodstream. It is the leading cause of death within the last 10 years. This is important, you guys. Please listen to what I'm saying. If you're a man and you have a belly over 40 inches or over, or a female over 35 inches, and you do not reduce your waist size, it can be something that we call metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is a syndrome of 5 different things that occur because of weight gain, not exercising, increased blood sugar called hyperglycemia, and increased fatty acids. Do you know how many of you out there are listening to this that have been gaining weight, you're not exercising, and your blood sugar is high, even though you're not diabetic, and you've got too many circulating fatty acids? 80% of America is overweight. From that 80%, and that's male and female, 80% are over 25% body fat. From the 80%, 8 out of 10, 40% of you are morbidly obese, have over 35% body fat. If you have metabolic syndrome, most likely, because you've got the weight gain. And you can't gain weight unless you're not exercising. And when you're not exercising and you're gaining weight and you're eating crappy foods, bad foods, you're becoming hyperglycemic. And this increases the circulating fatty acids, which leads to fatty liver disease. It leads to pancreatic problems, joint pain, high inflammation. So once metabolic syndrome has been present for 5 years, it is exceedingly difficult to reverse. So if you're less than 5 years diagnosed with, hyperglycemia or, high circulating fatty acids, liver, fatty liver, and it's less than 5 years, you have a really good chance of reversing it. After 5 years, it's really hard. So my lesson is know your body fat percentage, you guys. Your body composition is likely to change as you get older. Lower testosterone in men and women cause a decrease in muscle mass as we age. So even if your weight stays the same, you might feel, look, and become fatter, even though, and you've lost muscle gain. You've lost muscle and to gain fat. Know your body's BMR. Your BMR is the number of calories your body burns at rest. As an example, if you were to fall asleep, not eat, and not exercise for 24 hours, your body is burning calories to stay alive. It's getting its food from inside. This number of calories is what we call resting caloric intake. In order to lose weight, you need to know what your BMR is. If you do not change the number of calories you eat by looking at your BMR, then nothing will change for you. If you eat less than your BMR, you'll lose weight. If you eat more than your BMR, you will gain weight. So the average BMR for a male under 50 is about 2,400 calories. If you're over 50 and you're not a huge man, it's about 1,800 calories. Females over 50 can be as low as 1,200 calories to 1,600 calories might be their BMR. And some of them have had as much as 1,800 to 2,000 calories, but very few are over 2,000 calories. So that means that you need to know that number. If you're starting to look at your Aunt Sally, who has the big belly, and you know that there's a history of diabetes in your family, then you know to ask for a screen, for a doctor to screen for that condition. So, you need to evaluate your family's health history. A family history is called the poor man's genetic test. At my practice at the Slim Body Spa, I do consultations and histories to help clients understand their genetics and to target and treat specific issues that affect their appearance, their vitality, or energy as they age. Okay, because we do end up with the same problems that our parents had, because of the family history and genetics. So I would tell you that you need to become your own personal health expert. Once you know your health history, then connect with your doctor to get personalized advice to improve your health and appearance. For example, if you found out that you have a family history of high blood pressure, find out how changes to your lifestyle can help you avoid medication in the future. In many cases, maintaining healthy weight can reduce or prevent disease. Understanding the specific benefits of a healthy weight can serve as motivation to slim down. You need to manage your eating habits. You may not need to go on a full-scale diet to lose weight. What I find at the Slim Body Laser Spa is most people can simply start with the basic stuff. Stop eating so many sweets and avoid foods with a high glycemic index. High glycemic are foods which are processed, which turn into sugar very easily once you eat them. Those are high glycemic index. The glycemic index is based on sugar, table sugar. Sugar is 100, and that would be high glycemic, bad for your health. Low glycemic would be vegetables, could be in the 10s and 20s and 30s, and those would be things which are good for your health. A study published in the Journal Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics found that overweight and obese post-menopausal women who ate fewer desserts, less fried food, and fewer sugar-sweetened beverages were able to lose weight and keep it off. It's time to boost your daily activity. Have you stopped doing daily chores like carrying groceries, shoveling snow, or mowing the lawn? Maybe you shovel sand here in South Florida. That probably means that you're burning fewer calories every day. And I have found as a doctor that even though hormones play a role in aging, lifestyle comes into play as well. You can burn more calories without exercise by increasing non-exercise activities. So please evaluate your lifestyles and interests. As you reach near retirement, have your interests changed? Do you spend more time reading, eating in restaurants, cooking big meals, or entertaining friends? These shifts can cause a weight gain. To lose the weight, you don't have to give up your hobbies, but you may want to make simple adjustments to change your energy balance. For example, if you like to travel, choose an active vacation instead of a food-centered cruise. If you like to cook, invest in how to cook healthy cooking classes. Another one here is to watch your alcohol intake. Retirement, increased travel, eating in restaurants more often, and entertaining with friends might mean that you drink alcohol more often. Calories from booze add up really quick. In addition, we don't always make the best food choices when we drink. You can simply cut back on drinking or eliminate alcohol altogether to lose weight. So you want to balance your workouts too. You know, it's great if you exercise on a daily basis, but as we age, a balanced workout program becomes more important. As a doctor, I have found that a varied program can offset hormonal and body composition changes as we get older. So what I mean by a balanced workout is you want to balance your workout with strength training, resistance training, aerobic training, which is cardiovascular, also flexibility training, which is doing stretching exercises, and being sure that you eat enough protein. So strength training, aerobic training, flexibility training, and eat more protein. As a doctor, I find that people do not eat as much protein as they get older. And there are so many benefits of eating the right amount of protein. Too numerous to even name here, but protein helps you to feel full longer. It also helps build and repair your body's tissues. Mainly, it increases muscle tone. Did you know that the process of eating protein also burns more calories? You also want to do functional stability training. Nothing makes you look older faster than a hunched over posture and a shuffle style walk. Boy, isn't that the truth? I see that every day on the news. Someone that's older who's hunched and is shuffling when they walk. You want to keep a strong, stable, youthful looking body by adding functional training exercises to your daily routine. Simple stability exercises. They take minutes to perform, but they help to improve your balance, your posture, and your appearance. And one of the best ways of functional stability training is to buy one of those whole body vibration plates, a triplanar. When you stand on it, it moves you side to side at different speeds. Super beneficial at helping you to keep a better posture and to help your strength when you walk. You know, and don't leave out staying connected with friends. You know, you're not sure if you're going to stick to your exercise or eating plan. Connect with friends who hold you accountable. They share your interests. Social support is one of the best predictors of adherence to an exercise and a diet program. Social support. We need each other. Meet new friends at the gym. Connect with the community at church. Organize neighbors for workouts or healthy recipe exchanges. Of course, you don't have to make all these changes at once, so don't get overwhelmed, but just remind that everyone ages differently. To note, each person is unique. Be kind to yourself as you age and as your body changes, but do not throw in the towel just because you're getting older. Stay smart, stay active to keep your body strong and lean. Hey, if you're interested in what I just explained to you in a free PDF, all you have to do is shoot out an email to the Slim Body Laser Spa, gmail.com, or my contact page, and ask for a copy of that PDF. I have it summarized for you, and it's how to lose weight in your 50s, 60s, and 70s. And I think it's great information. And of course, I use a laser. to get the fat off. I hear all these, this is standard living, how to live properly, exercise, watching your food, but we got a hack. A hack is something which makes things easier. And this hack is a low-level laser. It's an FDA-cleared low-level laser device which reduces body fat very quickly and very easy. The Lipo laser uses a low-level diode laser that is applied directly to the skin. So our machine is about as big as a couple loaves of bread, as big as an oven, and it has paddles that are attached to it. A paddle is about as big as a cell phone, iPhone, and within the within the face of the iPhone of the paddle are diodes, 8 diodes, and we have 8 paddles. So there's 64 diodes in this process, and we can move those paddles every 10 minutes. We can put them to a different spot, and after 30 minutes, it releases 400 to 600 calories. So this is a little explanation from the manufacturer of how the Lipo laser works, and I think it's worth reading to you. That explaining this to you. So the Lipo laser uses a low-level diode laser that is applied directly to the skin. A diode emits a low-level laser energy which penetrates the skin and targets specific adipose or fat cells. It is through this targeted process that the laser is able to stimulate the cell into releasing water, free fatty acid, and glycerol. Having released these 3 compounds, often referred to as triglycerides, the fat cells shrink significantly, resulting in inch loss. So a fat cell contains water, free fatty acid, and glycerol. Applying the laser stimulates the cell to release the contents of the cell, resulting in inch loss. Once the free fatty acids, or the FFA, and glycerol are released into the tissue, the interstitial space, the free fatty acid is absorbed by the lymphatic system and is transported via lymph vessels to the lymph nodes. The lymph nodes are broken down. The free fatty acid is broken down within the lymph system using lipase and transferred into the circulatory system where the fats can be processed by the liver. Some of the free fatty acids are converted to triglycerides in the liver and returned back to the blood. Other free fatty acids combine with oxygen to produce energy. The fat can be used as energy anywhere there's energy needed. The ultimate destination of the released free fatty acid is to the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of every cell. The glycerol goes 2 ways. It goes into the blood through dilution, and glycerol diffuses through the total body water and appears in the urine. So that you get some of it comes out through the urine. Glycerol also passes through the bloodstream for return to the liver and is converted into a useful energy source called glucose. The laser paddles are administered in 30-minute sessions. The program is a 9-treatment program, 9 sessions in 3 weeks. The Lipo laser procedure provides inch loss without the surgery, without the pain or the extensive recovery time as other spot fat reduction procedures do. So basically, you come into the spa, we take pictures, we do measurements, we do, of course, a thorough history, make sure you're a good candidate, and then we apply these paddles to the subcutaneous fat where you want to reduce those inches. After 10 minutes, that energy, very gentle, you feel a very light warmth, opens up the fat cells. It creates little microscopic pores in the fat cells, and the fat cells release the water, the glycerol, and the free fatty acid. Now, after 30 minutes, you can picture in your mind 1/8 of an inch of fat being taken off. Do you know what a cheese knife is? Are you familiar with a cheese knife? 1 slice of cheese. Every place those paddles are applied, whether it's your thighs, your chin, your arms, or your belly fat, you can picture 1/8 of an inch of fat being taken away, similar to a cheese knife. Now, this liquid, the fluid which is released from the laser, has to be absorbed and burned as energy within the next 2 to 3 hours. So in order for this process to be sustainable, we ask that you don't eat 2 hours before you come in. You do the process, 30 minutes on the laser, 10 minutes on whole body vibration, and then no food 2 hours after laser, and drink a lot of water when you're done with the laser. And you will burn efficiently those calories over the next 2 hours. So you get inch loss, you get body fat reduction, and it's done after 4 hours after each procedure. You do not have to wait months for this to happen. There's no pain, there's no surgery, there's no anesthesia. This is a low-level laser, super safe, applied to your belly fat, which reduces the circumference while you lie on your back and take a power nap. I mean that. 20 to 30% of our clients fall asleep and they lose inches. Holy cow. If you're interested in knowing more about this, I highly suggest you go online, type in Dr. Tread's Slim Body, Dr. Tread Lipo, anything with Dr. Tread in the front, and you're going to get one of my websites, one of my URLs. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube. There's things on my website, love letters, testimonials, pictures. We're open for consultations all, right up through April right now. We're in season. We got a big staff. We can handle the people when they come in. Consultation is free. It's up to you to grab that phone, pick it up, go to that computer, type it in, go to your Siri, tell them Dr. Tread Slim Body Laser Spa. I want an appointment. Hey, I'll see you next week. Okay. God bless. Have a great day. Bye-bye.